Jade, let's go.
And the show already
start
started.
the stream.
Oh, so let's put this on blast. So Jade was rushing us to start the show.
Mm-hmm.
The show was already started.
Mm-hmm.
However, Jade did not do what she said she was going to do.
Imagine that.
And I still don't see an HDMI card connected here.
I actually went for it, right? But I gave it to Trent to see if he set it up. But I think it might be too short. Because Azem...
You mean what we said?
But Azem, who has the long HDMI card, has not brought it. Okay, well.
So we're supposed to just give WINN FM things for free? Hello? No. But you know what grinds my gears?
We already give blood certainty, isn't it?
Right?
Fear.
I come in here with my beating heart every day to plug into the airways to give y'all life and energy and entertainment. I habeth no more.
Haveth?
No more. Today is Thursday, and we all know what Thursday means. Thursday is the day when the nation gets the chance to grind some gears. So,
Hey, before we do that there real quick.
oh, another shout out?
Yeah, just want to shout out to the habitual car letter passers.
What?
There got some people who just don't let cars come out of intersections. They just wouldn't stop for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I want to shout out them people who do the exact opposite. Who allow those of us who come out of intersections at
Yes.
mornings to get into the flow of traffic.
You're
Mhm.
doing the laws, right?
Trust me. I'm telling you, like this morning I there for the longest while. Right? Trying to get out of my road and to the main road.
Mhm.
Cars just passing. I'm easing out.
Yeah, and they just keep going around you. They
Bro,
like go around
half
you.
of my vehicle is literally in the road and they just keep going.
Yeah,
going.
they go around you.
And this lovely lady this morning
Mm-hmm.
decided, you know what? I will let him come out. I will let him get to work somewhat on time. And to that woman I say thank you.
Mm.
Kudos. I might look like one of them man who would never let nobody.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So the shout out is not for him, but for the rest of you. Good morning. Big up yourself.
Mm. But yeah, I try to do that. I always try to stop and let out people, especially if you know, because I mean, I know how annoying it is to sit there and have nobody let you out. So I just always try to break. And you know what I just actually do too, which I think
They do it thinking I'm probably get some weird traffic karma.
right. But what I do as well, which is something other Kittitians don't do, is if there's a backlog of traffic and you know the cars are just at a standstill, I try not to block intersections.
That's a big thing. But I realize people
Right.
only do that really in town.
What? Not block intersections?
Yeah, so like if traffic stops and they leave the space so that traffic could
Right.
pass. To me that happens mainly in town. Outside the town people like they ain't care about it.
I do it everywhere. Like,
But then again, I guess
know.
people don't really anticipate traffic stopping so much outside
Right.
the town.
Well, that's why I creep. I make sure I creep, and when I see the intersection coming, I kind of stop, see if there's enough space before I drive, because I don't want
That
to.
kind of
block.
creep, Jade.
Oh boy, but you know,
Leave that for Chris.
kudos to y'all who stop and let traffic go. You guys are what? You guys allow the cars to get where they need to go, and kudos to y'all.
Indeed.
But
Indeed.
to those who don't stop, one of these days you're gonna want somebody to stop. And like our caller said a few months back, I hope you get the day you deserve.
Indeed.
Have the day you deserve.
You get a government you deserve.
So, Karma will say hello to you one day, but it's okay. Let's get into some gear grinding on Thursday. Me want to go first.
Jade, you have a pressing gear?
Regular.
I think my gear is on like my gear isn't for me, it's more for the drivers, because My brother usually takes me to work. Well, takes my son and myself to work at mornings. And we've noticed as of late that all of the parking in town have now become yellow lines.
Maybe start yet. Maybe show me yet.
Wait,
Maybe show me yet.
there used to be parking around the square. Now majority of the square is yellow lines. Especially up by the courthouse.
Well, by the courthouse, yeah. By the courthouse.
Yeah.
Well, up to Catholic Church. Up to just below the Catholic
Pure
Church.
yellow lines.
It's like every day, every month you wake up and there's less space to park in town and
And
more
more cars.
cars.
Have more cars.
Let's
It's a conspiracy, I tell you. It's a conspiracy.
soon we can park anywhere in town. We can just have to walk from home.
No, not home. From Pons Pasha, apparently.
Until they make over there.
And then, I was just going to say, then they drop some yellow lines there and you got to walk from Birdwalk.
Yeah.
Wow.
You park in the stadium and you walk down.
Taking away taking away potential parking and not providing alternatives. I don't know how that's working.
You know, usually
The
when...
alternatives there.
Oh, you mean gonna put them to go park for $5? Okay, cool.
No, up
But,
Victoria
and
Road.
down there full every day?
Down Victoria Road.
You know what's a bit stressful? The fact that they put down yellow lines and like Jade said, they don't compensate for that lost parking.
They don't even tell you.
You
You
know.
just wait. You just come back. One day you could park there. Next day you come back. You
Yeah.
can't.
So you park, the 10 cars that used to park in that spot no longer can park, and now they have to just go find somewhere else. So, it's not like they put down 10, block off 10 spots and then they remove yellow lines elsewhere or something. But it's just like, it's just this constant removal of parking in town, and there's nowhere else for you to go. I mean, I'm not saying that parking shouldn't be removed from town. Like, yellow lines shouldn't be put down because sometimes it really does help the traffic, but at the same time,
At least tell
where
us
is
now.
the
At least
replacement?
tell us.
Where's the replacement? Why are we yet to have a parking garage?
Well, y'all can't even tell us. Like, send out a notice, a briefing.
That's the thing,
press con
nobody does.
something.
Where's the effective as of posts?
You see it
There's
when you reach.
a social media page.
You see it when you reach.
Well, we had it. Well, don't come back next month and say, they did tell us, I write here on the ear. The let us know that Central, that Keon Street is, well, parking on Keon Street will soon be non-existent. So,
I mean, it kind of already is.
yeah.
You park on Greenlands Park.
Mm-hmm.
Up there, they're gonna put the yellow lines on the grass. Mm.
Then we're gonna just be salt again. But yeah, that's
Now
what
be
giants.
a good time for someone to invest in one of those multi-people, like go-kart carrier things, like a whole, like 8 people.
You mean like the long golf carts?
The long golf carts. And do shuttle service from Greenlands Park or from Warner Park or wherever the parking is.
Must be nice.
There are people who have long golf carts that transfer people into town.
Okay. Good to know.
Oh, that
Go
is
on.
excellent.
We won't
Yeah.
put you on blast, but good to know.
That's beautiful.
It's honestly, it's just like,
Which was
where's the same? I would, where's the, there are so many abandoned buildings in town. I'm sure, and some of them next to each other. The land can be acquired by the government or somebody. They can be knocked down, and a multi-story car park can be erected. I mean, we have a call on the line. Caller, good morning. Caller?
Hi, good morning,
Yes, good
my
morning.
friend, and to your fellow panelists there. While you folks are discussing the parking issues in Basti, I have had some ideas, and I would like to share a few quickly. I believe one of the things that can be done to alleviate or eliminate the parking issues that we have in Basti being a small town, is that we can utilize those available open spaces. For instance, if you're going towards Boardwalk, immediately after the Sands complex, there's a wide open area there, unused, filled with a lot of trash and bush and grass growing. I mean, one may not know whether it is private or public, but whether it's private or public, I believe there are spaces around Bastille that are dilapidated. We have dilapidated buildings, unoccupied areas that can be utilized in the interest of the public good. So a big space like that, immediately after the Sands Complex, going towards the Stall filling station, you're going Boardwalk, so you're going east. A high-rise car park can be erected there. I have seen high-rise car parks in St. Lucia, Castries. I've seen them in Barbados, in Puerto Rico. So the government can invest in high-rise parking. For instance, you have the parking lot opposite KFC and Rams, close to the Chinese, the King's Pavilion supermarket on the Bay Road there, near the trees. The government can easily, even if they do not have the funding or the financing to do it, they can invite an investor or a private entity to erect a high-rise car park. Because you see, what we have to bear in mind is that considering our small land space and the unavailability of land space on the ground, there is always space in the air. So if you do not have space on the ground, you go aerial, you go into the air. So the government or a private entity or some foreign investor can come and construct some high-rise car parks whereby people can, pay an affordable, a reasonable fee to park their cars because, as you guys have made it clear, parking in Bastille is literally non-existent. So I believe that something can be done to alleviate that problem. And even the Port Zante area, close to the parking for the taxis, near to where the guys have the car wash opposite the Sands. They can also invest in another high-rise car park somewhere there because people are literally parking on the bare open ground. So rather than have people parking in dust, you go aerial, and you nice up the ground, you pave it up and so forth. There's also a building, I believe it belongs to the Astafans, close to College Street Gut. Carla Astafan used to utilize that building there. Something can be done with that property. You go aerial, go into the air, high rise.
Yes.
For instance, I had suggested to them when they were reconstructing the West Line bus terminal, what they could have done. I suggested it to Minister Ian Patches Liebert, but he quickly brought up the issue of funding. I believe that whatever we want to do, we can find the funding. There are lots of institutions globally who have money, so we can always tap into that. What they could have done with the West Line bus terminal, rather than just doing a small area for the West Line bus terminal, they could have covered the entire area. So you cover all the booths, you cover all the area, they go right up to the bridge, and you go right back to those stones towards the sea. And you cover all the shops, you cover everything, including probably a portion of the ferry terminal.
Sir?
And you do a two-tier, so that
Hi,
there
sir.
could have been extra parking upstairs.
Hi, sir.
I believe that would have been a good idea. You're asking me a question?
I'm telling you that we have other callers on the line.
Okay, no problem. You have a good day.
You as well.
God bless. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take another call. Caller, good morning. Did we lost him. Caller, feel free to call back, please. Let's just reiterate, when you make call in, try to make it very brief because we have other callers that would like to contribute to the conversation.
Precise and concise.
But yeah, there are many options in terms of the parking situation in town. And, one of the quick, simple, most situations is a car park. Because, fortunately we are in an era where, car parks don't necessarily need to be sprawling because they can go up.
Let me ask you a question.
So,
Yeah, I think is, it's not for lack of foresight why there's no car parks, right?
Mm.
People since in high school, people talk about car parks. in town.
Yeah, which is like 700 years ago,
Yeah, it's
at least.
if you work the figures, car parks. The thing is, car parks in general don't make money until like year 10,
Yeah.
and that's in huge countries.
And people ain't willing to make that kind of investment.
Because people saying the government. I tell you already, if the government plant weed, they'll lose money. The government start to produce cocaine, they're gonna lose money.
Because of inefficiency.
Inefficiency and wastage and all the inherent things that come with being a government-owned company. Now, if it was like a pseudo company, maybe government being a main investor, but also it being a publicly traded company, so that locals could buy shares in it. I could probably support something like that and see it as a way for long-term investment for nationals and things.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that we have to bring in foreign investment all the time.
There are lots of people in St Kitts with substantial funds.
No, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about young people, me, you, who could find.
Who want to invest a little $5,000 in something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And buy some shares, stuff like that. But again, it comes down to management, because at the same time, now you have shareholders who you're accountable to, and something like that would have to be managed properly. But the reason that we don't have them is just financial. The amount of money that it takes to build something like that,
And maintain. They require serious maintenance.
right? It's yeah. So a lot of businessmen, even though they might have looked into it,
Ain't feasible.
it's not financially feasible.
Here what? People start investing in sneakers.
Where we getting two of them, so
Because y'all
I
about
guess
to do a lot
the
of
financially
work.
feasible now.
2 sneakers?
Well,
No car parks, highways.
yeah.
It's alleged.
Yeah.
It's alleged. We're going to be receiving 2 of them from for downtown and the Port Saint area,
Yeah.
east and west.
So we have another call on the line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome.
Traffic, my thing. Just to continue, there are a couple of things that can help with the traffic. It's more of a congestion issue, I believe, than the thing with the lights and so on. Matter of fact, I believe the lights may just compound things as we go forward, unless there's an overall system that release some pressure from areas and increase on the others and so on. My thing is, your program has some great ideas. You guys in the discussions bring out some good ideas, but I don't think that it's so fast. I'm not criticizing the program. I'm kind of thinking about the ability to adopt these ideas until there's a problem. For instance, the traffic. An idea came to me about making Central Street a one-way, Keon Street a one-way. Have something like a 400-meter track type of system. And there are a lot of feeder roads in between, so you don't have to go right around the track, so to speak. And I think that would create a flow of traffic that would help the situation. It's just adapting to it. And those things about the parking and the highway, the parking and the going vertical in the air, yeah, it takes money, but it's a solution that should be seriously considered in tandem with, say, what you call it, the elongated Gulf thing. You just have 2 or 3 major parking areas to the east and west of that same so-called 400-meter track. And north of it, maybe Port Saint could be the south for a cost. But it opens up opportunities for business. And I think if you think about it carefully, maybe you should have programs geared, or a specific program or day, the week geared towards venting these ideas. Because what I see happening sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, is a deficiency in the planning. I beg to differ with what you guys there who said that, it's lack of foresight. I think it's developing. It has always
we were saying that it's not lack of foresight.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah, we were saying it's not lack of foresight.
It's not. I would differ because was there foresight? You would see a congestion issue coming. I mean, yesterday when you had the traffic talk, I smiled to myself because I was driving, and there was this car boat coming in. It's almost weekly with vehicles. So the congestion issue is not going to get better. So we have to look ahead and find some long-term solutions towards this issue. I love the traffic talk stuff, not only the program, but generally you guys have a lot of issues with it because it impacts so many people. I mean, just doing business in Basti is a problem. And, you're brought, and try not to be too long, but there's so many things there. Anyway, you brought up something about the employees of businesses backing in front of it. I see that all the time. I have a feet impediment and I wish I could pack, 2 or 3 car things and get in and get out and leave somebody else. That doesn't happen. Who don't have the feet problem, give a little walk if they don't want to take a shuttle. That's the name I was trying to get. A shuttle from one of the locations, either Basti High School or further north up by the St. Peter's roundabout, or somewhere up Bird Rock or somewhere up Fort Lands, and then have the traffic flow. They take a little walk, and it's exercise. If they don't want it, the shuttle is either a free one or a minimal fee, $1, $2, because there's maintenance. But keep the traffic flowing. One way, Central Street, one way, either way. I don't know which way. One way, Kevon Street, and the feeder roads. You can tell. Something like St. Martin and Back Street, Front Street kind of story.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Actually, alluded to the St. Martin example as well. So it's well taken. It's something to look into. I don't know how the Kevon Street one way would look, but
Again, these are all things that have seemingly been in, just been in the ethos, like floating around these ideas. 'Cause I've heard that suggestion, and that's all. The comparison used was Front Street, Back Street in St. Martin, because they basically have the road that goes along the pan. Yeah, Front Street, Back Street. So it's very similar to the Bay Road, Kevon Street, Central Street. So,
but how would Kevon Street work one way though?
How would it work one way?
Yeah, because it's the Ellen Main Road.
It would just be up until a certain point. Doesn't have to be the entire.
So you would just join back. See, for me, it would only make sense if Kevon Street traffic flows west.
That's what I was thinking too, and then Central Street.
Because then you basically could use 5 ways to join back the Island Main Road. Well, to join back the Island Main Road, right? Or the opposite way. Yeah, you'd have to be east.
So
you'd have to be east.
So one way going east.
One way going east. So then,
for those listening, east is towards Frigate Bay.
Right. So then, what would have to happen is you would then either take one of the feeder roads, one of them roads in the Irish Town McKnight area to join back. The main conduit would probably be up by the college area, 5 ways, being able to join back into Kevon Street. But yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. Well, we know how we don't go. Anyway, we have another call. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen and lady.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, I just want to add my 5 cents because we don't have no 2 cents no more. This Kevon and this one-way thing, they could work out that. I don't think that's an issue. Could work out either way, I don't know. But any of you young folks went to Basti High School? The original Basti High School?
Yes, sir.
Yes, of course.
Okay. My suggestion would be from the field, go all the way east. Take knock down all of the buildings there on the east
side.
block, all the third, they were just third farm and fourth farm. Knock down all those buildings, build a very nice performing arts center building, whatever, that could hold at least maybe like 2,000 people. Build a parking structure where Carnival Village is, a vertical parking structure. It's big enough. It should be able to hold, if we do it right, we could hold at least 150 vehicles, which would make a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
And the parking situation. You could use it for, football parking, cricket parking, or whatever. But the fifth farm block, go back over east, all that is enough space to build a big enough performing arts center. I was gonna say take out the tennis court, but you might have to move it somewhere else to get more space for parking structure as well. But they could work it up. But that's just my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could still have another parking structure on Port Zante, 1 or 2. And then you could still have another one out at the camps area. Well, there's some land down, they might have to buy back land. Or knock down Fort Thomas Hotel. Or do something with it. Put parking again and then have shuttles. In these parking structures, the ground floor could be commercial rental spots. So it would pay back for itself in time. And have some shuttles, whether free or at a minimal cost, or something could be worked out if you pay to park in the structure. Whatever it is per month, per week, whatever, and factor in the cost of the shuttle. It's not something, it's been doing it all over the world. Even other Caribbean islands been doing it, so we can model off of that. Okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. We have another call. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning. This thing about parking garages is that it's an inefficient use of valuable real estate, okay? And secondly, it causes congestion at rush hours, right? And that is because that is the main problem, is the number of cars in this small area, okay? You have 100 cars trying to leave a parking garage. You still have the problem of congestion in Bastille, right? So I think the parking lots on the outskirts are the best solution. And what you've seen in, you mentioned other places, what you've seen in a place like Aruba, for instance, where they have like a train actually, they have the tracks running in the road, and you have from the cruise ship port right to through the business sector. I don't know who pays for it, whether the business sector or the government, but you have that from the cruise ship running through the capital from one end to the other. And you can hop on, hop off. You don't have to pay. Okay? And so I think that would be another solution. Bastille is flat, so it can accommodate something like that.
Mm.
Okay, then.
Okay, then thank you very much.
Many solutions, many suggestions.
Yeah, building the actual parking structure, on the outskirts.
Bro.
And having a shuttle service.
Bro, again, all these things, great, right?
But who's going to do it?
Not only that, my thing is still decentralize.
You
need to decentralize. It's just too congested.
Yep. Having everything in Bastille don't make sense.
And that's why
decentralize.
What no? The kind of congestion in that lessening town after Bastille is going to move, right?
But let me tell you something, right? This is the problem I have with all these solutions. Like, all the solutions have inherent problems, right? Nothing is perfect. Fine. However, the solutions have been proven to be temporary. It's like in the States now, they're taking out highways from around major cities because the highways don't work. Like traffic lessons for like a few weeks, and then the people them who generally didn't take highways now start taking highways because the traffic now seemingly is better, and then you end up in the same predicament again. So they add more lanes, and then more lanes mean more problems. So it's like instead of trying to move the traffic and work on the traffic, we need to move the services.
Spread them out.
Bastille in itself is we've outgrown Bastille. It's an older city.
And
we need to expand or migrate, decentralize.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think, people are all like, oh, happened to Bastille. Nobody's telling you that Bastille. Nobody's telling you,
lovely.
We're not trying to say that Bastille needs to basically be deserted. Bastille can become a historic town, and Bastille can become, one of those areas that's just historic, the old town. And we can move elsewhere. We don't have to stay to Bastille because Bastille is meant to be a town.
I think it could still be a financial center.
It could be a little, things can still happen there.
I think
but
things that we should look into moving should be the government services.
Mm-hmm.
I think
and the major stores as well.
But I think what happens is that as we move stuff around, a lot of the major businesses will also relocate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you go out in the middle of nowhere and build a college or build a university.
Things built around it.
Like
coffee shops and restaurants.
Yeah,
because that's how things work.
That's how it works.
You like Azem said, if we build a mall somewhere and businesses enter, shortly after, a food court's gonna pop up. Other services are gonna pop up nearby because it has to service the area, and it's an opportunity for businesses to also expand.
But I think this is kind of like we've been seeing it, right? We've been seeing it where Bastille has been expanding into the surrounding suburbs. I mean, look at it. If you look going east, at one point, Pans Pasha was literally a pan. Right, so that's expanded and that's become an industrial center. Mm-hmm. Even George Street, and so that was mainly residential. There's several businesses.
Mm-hmm.
There's several businesses across there. If you look as far as Connery, we now see the commercial center that's being built. Just past the scenic rail there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's expanding just because it has to. You look at the north, most of the biggest growing community is New Road, Lower Monkey Hill area.
Mm-hmm.
You look going west, we have now even the food court up at Camps. You have OJ's commercial center. So it's
and even known by Limekiln, yeah?
Well, don't bother talk about Limekiln is a commercial district now, right? So town has been expanding just because it has to, right? But I do think that we need to figure out ways to decentralize town itself. Some of the government services is what I'm suggesting, and bring it in and bring them to a place where it's like that government service district, and so it helps to fuel efficiency and helps to declutter Bastille. But
But it makes sense. So
let me read some of these comments.
Anyway, at least we have life.
Right. One person is saying it is like inflicting hardship on people, especially senior citizens. The installation of traffic lights seems to be a part of the feel-good syndrome, which will create problems for drivers and users of the road. The new traffic lights on Kevon Street, if that street becomes a parkless zone, could result in hardship for persons attending funerals at the churches on that street, because where would the hearse park and where would the elderly, how will the elderly reach to the church service? St Kitts is being, one of the persons said St Kitts is being turned from Sugar City to Traffic Light City. Somebody else is saying, actually, I'm going to come back to this. Let me take the call. Caller, good morning.
Thank you. I'll be very quick, because I was in before. Guys, touching on every facet that I was thinking of, including that word decentralization. Decentralize the government offices. I don't know how, if you all have ever had to go for a passport and get it one place, have to go for birth certificate the next, and then police record the next, and so on and so forth. With computerization, it should be simple. one central location in out. But the government offices could be not necessarily in the heart of the city, maybe build a new government headquarters. And they have different departments in that same complex, because look at where education is, where tourism is, where something else is. So you guys hit it right on the head again. Just one gear grinder. When people pack and they take a 1.5.
Don't get me started on that.
Oh, God.
I see that yesterday.
It happened to me this morning. You see what you do? Thank you, Carlo. You spoiled my morning. Literally, Jade and I just mentioned the fact that we have to, the parking around the square has, a few spots have been removed. However, there was an individual who literally took up 2 spots based on the way they parked, because the way they parked forced other people to park badly to compensate for the way they parked, which resulted in like 2 spots being unusable.
They can just.
I just really want to just fold it
Let
up.
them there. You just stick some wet chewing gum under the door handle.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Wow.
With a note.
Oh no, we have a call on the line. Call. Good morning.
The chewing gum is what killed me. Anyway, another 5 cents. So we're talking about basket. Not only basket is an issue. Let me tell you have villages like Challengers, Sandy Point, Old Wood, Kayard. All of those places need bypass roads around them. I don't know if you guys ever been to, let's say, Challengers. If there's a fender bender in the middle of Challengers, traffic is dead. If there's a fender bender even by the fisheries area in Old Wood, the traffic is dead. If there's a fender bender by close to the primary school entrance there for Sandy Point, the traffic is almost dead. There's some little roads around.
Yeah, you could go on Sandy
Point.
But it's still congested.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need a bypass road across the island for one. We need bypass roads around a lot of these villages. They could probably do it in stages and then eventually connect all of them and probably start with Challengers first and go around Challengers and then go around Old Road and then connect them eventually. They will have to build bridges over a lot of these guts. And once those roads are built, places will be businesses will go on those roads, housing developments will go close to those roads, and that's where you're going to have a lot of expansion, and a lot of these villages would be kind of decentralized, for say, because the villages wasn't made for a lot of this modern traffic and so forth. Okay? All right, thank you.
Okay.
But that would be like a real. The people listening wasn't hear what I'm saying, but in that in relation to what the caller was saying, like I remember, I'd seen, I think it wasn't in Dubai, it was actually in Qatar, where around some of the islands there's a main road, but the main road covers the outskirts of the country, almost like around the coast, right? No, our main road is on the coast, but I'm literally thinking like build
outside of the
right,
coast.
Right. And so what happens is the road runs around, and then you take your exit to go to whichever specific village you're trying to go to. So, but that'd be like a serious engineering feat.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Let's not tear up the head.
No. But
they already got a bridge to build to Nevis.
These are things that are possible.
Yeah.
Because again,
they're necessary.
Not only necessary, but I think we have to look at it from a certain perspective. We are small. Like that is a huge advantage.
That is true. Because
it's a huge advantage.
The caller is completely right. If there's an accident in Challengers, y'all salt. There's an accident in Old Road, y'all salt.
But we seen it here. Remember when they had issues at the Old Road Bay. People who live in Old Road had to drive. Inside, had to go Kayard to come down here.
Wild. That is wild.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, but hey.
We have another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. When they had the problem with the Old Road Bay, the land star, the slippage away, what they call it, this modern road, people could have got hung by boat too. But nobody want to think about that. Boat could dock up the whole road and half a tree and go back here. There's a boat go to from Nevis. Boats go from southeast out to Nevis. One from. But we got to get innovative. But anyway, I want to say something. A lot of us say a lot of things. And we forget that St Kitts is small. You see, a number parking things could happen in St Kitts, but we got to be multi-story. I would have seen a number of them in modern sense using steel structures and a whole lot of vehicles. I wouldn't trouble Bastille Highland. We just don't look. When you're in a small country, you really got to evaluate and reevaluate what you're going to do with land, you know. Countries like Britain and them don't just get up and do nothing, so they got this thing going on for years with you. But what I want to ask you all, you remember a few years ago, Dr. Narain and Narain, what was his name? From the CFBC.
Nariani?
Said they were,
Narain.
Oh, Dr.
Narain.
Yeah. They were doing a study on traffic in Bastille, but I never heard the report. If they finish, so you all could contact him to find out what happened. They were looking at traffic in Bastille. But you got some building around government and I get to some of them. Some people talk about these people talk about preservation. I agree with preservation in many instances, but you got to face reality in a modern sense. Some of these places, multi-story structures could go up. I see them in Britain quite a lot, and they're now coming up in the US. They used to be basically concrete, but they now have them. So, and then one last thing, I got a lot to say, but one last thing. In Challengers and the traffic, you know, I agree. I'm from Challengers, so I could talk. I got to see. I don't absorb the traffic well from my vantage point. What really happened? The people the traffic people them don't like to listen. Everybody want to drive fast through Challengers, especially because they put a yellow line on the seaside of the village, the whole length of the village, which in my mind is foolishness, ridiculous. To cut down the speed in the village, there is an area where we suggested, me personally, been talking about it, and others. No yellow line should be there, but all the other areas, fine, being on a problem with that. So everybody trying to hustle to the village when they're going towards Bastille and from Bastille to get away from the vehicles that are parked on one side. Because when you got people parked on one side, your two vehicles can't pass. So this creates a problem. I asked them to put some crosswalk in front of some of the alleys because most of the buildings, the buildings are on the mountainside. So if you're going to Sunny Point, you got to cross the road. So if you have this catwalk, you cut down the speed of some of the people. And lastly, what find happen? A lot of drivers, I don't know what they see on the road. Because they will see the road blocked and vehicles come in, especially when these people going back here. You want to come in west? Who has the right of way? Something got to run up on the cobble because the people going through still as if the roads are just open. So, impatience, intolerance, and some other words along the line. I can't find them right now. But I find the drivers are always in too much of an unnecessary hurry. I think it's small. Now we're far to go. Have a good day.
All right, thank you very much for that caller. Let's get to some of the comments on the live. I don't want to neglect them. So we're going to take a we have a call? We're going to take a pause on the calls for a bit. Yeah, YouTube is just reiterating what one of the callers said in terms of having to use some of the small roads if there's an accident, and how stressful that is. Somebody is saying, I know you guys are talking about parking, but what really is happening with the Fort Thomas Hotel? It's been vacant for over 30 years. Why not the government or a private entity take it and turn it into a hospitality training institute or operate it as a budget hotel but with high standards to train our people for the industry. We talked about plans for that.
But like, Roger, let me tell you something. The two properties that everybody got planned for
Is
Bastille High School
and
and Fort Thomas Hotel. Like performance art centers, parking garage, government buildings, training centers, like command centers for the police. Like, like them.
It's only 2 structures. You can't do everything with them.
This is why, and like there's no bad ideas, right? But this is why we need like long-term planning that encompasses all of these things, like, because all these things are needed. It's not that any of these things are not needed. Like,
they're needed, and we just have to find space. Because you know, this option that this commenter stated, like, you know, a training facility for our budget hotel. Those are also options, but they need places to go. You know, there's one grounds we're talking about, but it has like 20 plans for it.
But let me help out the
90 need to go somewhere else too.
Yeah, let me help out the commenter a little bit there. Whenever you see these types of situations, there's some type of battle in regards to ownership and there's legal stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you don't have to be intimately knowledgeable about the situation to know, like, that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, because they won't just leave these things vacant for all these years. Like, I don't think they don't see them or have plans for them. But as Azem said, you know,
there's obviously some dispute. And so what happens a lot of times is, unfortunately, these things end up just carrying on for
too long.
Yeah, too long and thing. But at the same time, it's kind of like the government just taking over things. Like, I don't know, like that happens in some countries, but yeah, you don't want to be one of the people who feels they have some type of investment or ownership or whatever in these places, and then you feel cheated out of whatever value it is you feel you have.
And the government can't do everything. That don't make sense.
Yeah. So we some of these issues are just like very, very ticklish. There's obviously some dispute. The other one is the other place that people have a lot of ideas for is the movies 3.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the Grand Market. Well, not the Grand Market. What's that pink building called?
All kind of things, you mean?
Yes, where they used to have like the
craft
different booths.
market?
Yeah, the craft market. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of places that people look at, and
even down to the Housewoods building next to the Ashley's furniture store.
Yo, watch it, right? They were people that's find uses for other people things.
Yeah.
Like, that has been
it's a competition skill.
That has cracked me up.
It's a competition skill.
That's one thing that has cracked me up. The other thing that has cracked me up is the Bastille High School situation.
Yeah.
Like, everybody got an idea for Bastille High School grounds except a school.
Yeah. That doesn't blow my mind.
Because in the mind, they already see that there's plans to put Bastille High somewhere else, so they just work out.
Yeah, but why not put the plans for Bastille High at Bastille High?
Like,
no,
but this is the issue. The issue, and I was speaking to a call. I don't know if you want me to call his name, but we had a conversation about this on the weekend about that situation in the Bastille High School grounds.
We can come to that, man.
Because the thing is, if it's that nothing wrong there, right?
So why they can't use it?
Why the school in there, right? That's one. 2, because obviously, because of lack of maintenance and all these things, like there was obviously issues there, whatever. Can these issues be fixed? Now the issue, if there are really some serious health issues there, which justifies the school not being there.
Well, you want to put all kind of other facilities there.
Oh, you want to put other things there. And then on top of that,
boy,
do we have to really figure out what's going on in the surrounding communities and some of the other surrounding areas, where the Victoria Road, East Park Range, 17 Degrees, Warner Park, Epworth School being just across the road, like, Medical Associates being right next door.
Like the individual.
Do we have to look at if this, whatever the issue is there, is affecting the surrounding areas? Like, it's just there.
I lived on Park Range for most
which is
of my
exactly
life,
what the individual.
Anything ever bothered me, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Which is what the individual was saying to us, is that, if there is a problem with the grounds at Bastille High, the grounds at Bastille High aren't just the Bastille High grounds, it is the surrounding community. Because if there's something wrong with Bastia High soil, then, there's things next to the soil in Bastia High. So obviously, the soil is not confined to just Bastia High. Bastia High is not the only soil in Bastia. Yeah. So the surrounding areas need to be looked at as well. And if there's a contamination issue, then, the possible neighborhood needs to be, basically condemned. But we have another call on the line. Caller, good morning. Ooh, okay. We have another one. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning again. Now, we were talking about bypass roads and all these things. It's unfortunate that some people just get up and talk. No, to the back of challenges got the railway. The railway rings the island also. Now, if you look at the kind of engineering that those guys did, those days were pick and shovel and wheelbarrow, Ministry got a lot of heavy moving equipment now, could do a lot. I know a section to the back of challenges could be, well, let me say dig down, as we have said. And you could even put a little piece of road there to bypass challenges when you got jam and so. And the people who live back there could even park up and all of that. But it take some money, and put you in, retaining wall and stuff. But if you're saying it's build up geographically, we have a lot of guts, so we have a number of bridges, railway bridges. But on the road, they're not so. They drive in the guts. But we have a number of railway bridges. I remember the number. But I have a listing of them now, and the height and all of that. So, don't ask me how I get them, but I have them. So,
we won't ask.
If we ain't got to get somebody ain't got to build them road, maybe take a loan and surrender our sovereignty to China to get a bypass road to go right around the island. They say Nigeria surrender their sovereignty to China if they can pay back their loans where they get the massive loans that they got. So they say. I don't know if it's true. But if we can do that can take a long time to do, and it can take an enormous amount of money. Somebody ain't got to do it first. Maybe the U.S. could do it with the army engineers or whoever. Something like that would be good. A parallel road go around the island, but they got to be more in the interior. And maybe in some cases cross over the island main road.
Okay, caller, thank you.
Yeah, right.
All right. It's coming up to break time. Let me just double check on the lives and see if we have any additional comments before we take a short break. Yeah, one person is saying, our friend Witty is saying, I remember one Friday night I was sitting in traffic for over an hour in Challenges for a minor accident.
Yep.
It happens. Morning, Witty.
Ooh, okay.
That's why like St. Peter's, there are multiple ways to get everywhere in the community.
Other comments on Facebook are saying, are you aware, according to, hold on, there's one before that. They said the 55 million new state-of-the-art old road highway, which is incomplete, is a waste of money. A new road from Bastia to Sandy Point along the old railway track would have been better. I think that was one of the promises of the Labour Party. Are you aware, according to the Honourable Sean Richards, the new Minister of Infrastructure, the new roundabout at Molyneux has already costed over $1 million of taxpayer money. The person continues to say the Bastia High issue was a political issue. Nothing is wrong with the soil. Somebody else is saying, let's face the facts. We all want Bastia High and nothing. We all went to Bastia High and nothing happened to us. And Bastia High was not a nuclear plant. So what could have caused this problem at Bastia High?
So people those faking the ashes in the mountains, so?
Yeah, so there is an issue with Bastia High. The issue is just the thing is though the issue is fixable. You know, it's not. I don't think it's
condemned.
I don't think it's the issue is not to the point of being condemned.
Not go as to say, like, nothing was wrong.
Yeah,
like,
something was definitely wrong. But
you
know, again, the issue is fixable. It's not something where, you know, it's like a nuclear power plant explode and the soil is now, you know, full of radiation and we need to not step foot on the ground. Yeah, something is wrong, but
clearly
the issue can be fixed.
If people keep saying we could put this and that there, then
it's
a fixable thing.
But not just that.
I can't really study people either. Like, and this is my thing. Like, we keep talking about like science-based decisions. Like, let's make some science-based decisions here, people. Like, come on. Like, We want like you can't tell me this is something that is inconclusive. Like that's basically what going on here. Like it's inconclusive, so better safe than sorry. Okay, but you can't tell me it's inconclusive. Like don't. Nah.
Hey, break time. Yeah. So now let's just take a very, very short break and we'll come back to more Island Tea on WINNMedia SK and we will be right back.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Horsford's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less. With our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
See a black grows in no other garden. So you see, my garden is so special. Oh, yeah. Black roses in my garden. 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 To keep and care it, you've got to water it. Got to keep the earth so cool, yeah.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali.
Barrington Levy got such a unique voice, eh?
Who?
Barrington Levy.
Oh, I love the guy, man. Love the guy. I like him, Luciano.
Okay.
Did Luciano perform?
I back up Luciano at this like obscure party that happened on Cloud 9 and nobody had know about.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Like live band?
Yeah, it was I played with Jazzy them. Like he and Jazz is like really good friends. Yeah, of course.
Amali, you just have to start thinking that whatever person you're about to ask Azem about, he's done it.
What?
Yeah. You probably back up Michael Jackson and Wayne, you know.
No, but I was.
That would have been great?
No, that would have been great. But I was able to be a little fly on the wall for his rehearsals for this is it 2 days before he died. Yeah.
See?
So you want them fellas that was like in the back of the room, like in the shadows?
Just watching.
Just like, wow, it's so great to be here.
Yeah. Basically, my roommate was I had this roommate that just like know a lot of people in the industry and got invited out and I just got to
ended up by a studio session, by a rehearsal?
A rehearsal hall in California, yeah.
And the great MJ was there.
Yeah, this is it. And he
This is
died.
it.
So the tour never happened.
Well, I guess that wasn't it.
Actually, that was it.
The rehearsal? J Lord, ain't too soon. Ain't too soon.
Yeah, I see they killing Meek Mill over these lyrics in like this song, the unreleased. About Kobe?
Bias. Well,
To me, they're being ridiculous, man.
well, his wife, Kobe's wife, said, "Nah, that wasn't it." So I
No.
can't tell people how to feel about the husband. Maybe the rest of the internet, yeah, you could bypass. But when she said that, yeah, this isn't.
Yeah.
She gonna be okay.
One and two, like that I understand. Like you understand, you catch
What he said though?
But remember, you have to remember that we're in a time where people are a lot more sensitive.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Because I remember
Outlandish.
back then, right? People used to say some wild things, and nobody used to bat an eyelash because that was the culture at the time. Now the culture is people being more aware and sensitive and
Ridiculous. I'm ridiculous. Say it, Jade. I'm ridiculous.
Basically, we're on between
Yes,
Meek
exactly.
and Tekashi.
Which is why, like you said, like the internet killing him. Like if Vanessa Bryant has an issue, I could understand that. And also, I believe Meek. I don't know him personally, but I believe Meek. If the man wife say, "Hey, that made me feel some kind of way," he'd be like, "Hey, I'm
But
sorry."
he did
You know what I mean?
actually. He said he apologized to her.
exactly to her, but like the other people is like, dude.
Because we're entitled, we feel like we're entitled to all celebrities, everything. So
We feel like they're entitled to
Celebrities
everybody's lives.
Yeah.
to everybody.
Everybody.
well,
You
I
feel
said
like you
celebrities
need.
because that's who mostly get it.
Yeah, it's
because,
everybody.
they're on a different platform.
We as humans, we feel entitled, especially because of social media. You feel entitled to know everything about everybody, but then when somebody
And to
tries
have
to
an
know something
opinion.
about you, you're all upset and angry.
Because
Mind your
there's-
business, but then you want to mind about somebody
because there's
else.
this little box that say, "Tell me what's on your mind."
Mhm.
No,
You jump
please
I just
don't.
laugh after people.
Don't.
I don't laugh after people, right? Who publicly show outrage and disgust when couples have marital or relationship issues, and then they bash either one of them, and then they get back together.
It's so wild. Like, please, let us not. Like, the internet has people literally write
Oh,
full think
yeah.
pieces about people's relationship, about strangers.
Because people read.
It's like Future too, like girls are bashing Future. Like, he's a dog and I can't be cheating women that way and thing. I said, yeah, they keep coming back. Mind your business. You ain't think the girls who want to be Future know he's toxic?
You see? That was the whole.
He had a whole album talking about his toxicity.
Yeah, and perhaps he has other redeeming features.
The whole premise behind this
Rich
series
sex.
that I told y'all to watch.
It's the only one you need.
When I told y'all to watch Behind Her Eyes, the whole premise of it was minding your business. So please. Sometimes
I'm like, why would you bash a man for for his taste? When people keep wanting to.
Like the man who met me into the city time and cussed me off because one time I made a joke and said I love women with low self-esteem and daddy issues.
Yeah.
The man stand up there for like a good 10 minutes just and make it, and then I was like, bro, I was kidding. But have a nice day.
happy that your age you're concerned.
Yeah, man, yeah. Hope you feel better about yourself now. You know what I mean? Thanks for the
Yeah,
advice.
but there's nothing wrong with that though.
Yeah.
If the reason you prefer women like that is genuine, and coming from a heart of gold.
Indeed.
If you enjoy,
perhaps I'm a fixer.
If you enjoy propping up people and giving them motivation and so on, there's nothing wrong with that.
You see, the problem is that wasn't as an excuse at the time.
How you go tell him man what he mean?
Man, understand? I just
It's
said
what
what
he
I
said.
liked. I didn't go
What
into
he
depth.
said.
I didn't do.
Yeah, he said he
deep
like
dive.
women with daddy issues and self-esteem issues, and it could very well be because he enjoys or finds fulfillment.
In fixing them?
I wouldn't say fixing,
No, but supporting
but
them through
encouraging
their
them
journey, yes,
to
be better.
become better.
The best versions of themselves.
Yeah. Now, if he's using that to his advantage and not theirs, that's a different story. But we didn't go into that.
That's true. Assumptions.
I just want to be bashing people.
Yeah,
And then the thing what bother me with this, right? The things that are universally recognized as wrong and harmful and all these things, the passion ain't there for them things. Yeah.
Like cigarettes?
Not just that. Why is it okay, right? Hold on now. Why is it okay? You know, there are some people that exclusively, like, quote unquote, rescue animals.
People can rescue people.
You can rescue people. Though. It's okay to seek a hurt, an abandoned, and abused dog and nurse hit him or her back to health and show her love and show that there's good people in the world. But it's to do it for a person.
But you know,
it's frowned upon.
But I could see why, because unfortunately, pets show way less ungratefulness than humans. So this dog is going to love me forever.
Forever and ever.
This man, I go and fix him and then he will leave me.
For next woman.
Because he's fixed now and he feel like he's better than me.
And that is the risk you take. Love is a gamble, you know, you just gotta roll the dice.
Why?
Roll the dice. Roll the dice.
What are you talking about, Kevon, man?
And hope you get 7.
Kevon does get a dog. This dog.
You see how people who just mind their businesses get put in the middle of things. Here I am.
You're talking about dogs and love dogs.
No, but Azem just fling me in the mix. That's what I'm saying. Main include myself in this. Whenever y'all want to talk about your broken lives, I don't jump in. But
you're here, sir.
I leave myself out and watch me.
You are the master of ceremonies.
That happened to me last week, yo. I see them having some food with some friends.
Wow.
And they're talking about something. Many studying them on my phone, yo. I didn't even hear the conversation properly. And somebody must pass a comment and say, boy, I can't remember, but I give an example, but boy, I hate hot dogs, you know? And everybody on the table was like, boy, how you can hate hot dog, boy, thing. And they're doing what we're doing. Somebody bust out. I might hate hot dogs too. It's like...
They need help. They need backup.
I said, I'm over here doing me. Why are you bringing me to this thing?
Why not?
She said she said we're talking about hot dogs and they let them start to everybody like, I said, what I got to do anybody?
Look, sometimes we need a way to deflect and throw or bring in, and you just happen to be the sacrificial
But the person who balled out my name wasn't even the one being attacked.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
Someone else being attacked, but she just feel Amali need to get attacked too. Hey, here hot dog needle.
Amali doesn't. I guess he does recognize, but sometimes he forgets that he's the nation's blows bag.
The fall guy.
Blanket. The total opposite.
The fall guy.
Fall guy.
Scapegoat.
Yeah. I was actually surprised that Camus was blaming me yesterday. I didn't know what was happening.
It felt so far into you.
Unexpected turn of events.
I was like, what's happening here?
Felt so far into you. If you had to Amali for you, you'd be like, yeah, well, you know.
You see him like that, so. But maybe moving forward, he will feel more comfortable. He will switch his blame gaming on me.
Why not?
And I'll accept it.
Yeah, most likely.
Everything is my fault.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you have a role to play. We all have a role to play. Like.
And yours is just
that
to be.
Is my role. Remember, people don't change. You become who you are. And I became the nation's punching bag.
Indeed.
Sorry. Kevon, we have anything to talk about? Let's take the pressure off Amali for a bit.
It's fine. I'm used to it.
And you're alive. It could be worse.
And I must let you all know that I'm a Christian.
You're a changed man.
A changed man. Whatever you cast at me,
it's okay.
It'll be futile.
It's okay.
Actually, the man has his cross to bear and he bears it well.
Better you than me, anyway.
But guess what?
You're alive.
We have life.
You have life.
And it could be worse. I could be the worst punching bag, I need to be grateful for small mercies.
Have life. That's all.
But as I'm like, stupidness.
Wow.
But hey, master ceremonies, where you got for us over there?
Have life.
You have life over there?
Life.
Amen.
Oh boy, congratulations.
Thank you guys, thank you. So let's jump into some tea time.
You're up there today, boy?
Me in here.
Okay.
Mariah who?
Whistle tone.
If I whistle, I bust everybody's speakers. But let's talk about some fun facts of taking the COVID-19 vaccine. Don't all cheer at once.
Calm down, everybody.
Calm down. I know this is an exciting topic. I know everybody loves to talk about this, but settle down.
Simmer down.
So, now that the vaccine rollout has started in St Kitts and Nevis, questions are being raised about the side effects of taking the jab. The CMO.
For true? Carry on.
The CMO, Dr. Hazel Laws, gave a snapshot of some of the common side effects that can be expected after taking the vaccine. Based on the data and the science, most of these are almost common, post-vaccine symptoms to date. So persons who receive this vaccine may complain of pain, tenderness at the injection site, a general feeling of being unwell, feeling feverish, having a headache, joint arm muscle, and probably a loss or reduction in appetite. Dr. Laws, speaking with the NEOC Task Force, the COVID-19 consultation event on Tuesday, February 23rd at the Ross University School of Medicine. I just skip out the veterinary word because I don't get it. I don't know.
Just say vet.
I can't say it. That word is really just
say vet.
Vet medicine. You know, I don't say vet because when I used to explain to my American friends that we have a vet medicine school in St Kitts, they used to think I'm talking about like
veterans.
So I just had to stop calling it vet because I just couldn't cope.
Well, we're here in St Kitts now.
Just say animal then.
The animal school.
University of Animal Medicine.
Yeah, okay. So some 70 people took the first jab of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine on Monday at the Newtown Health Centre, including some cabinet officials and medical personnel. Dr. Law said that she had started contacting some of the people who received the vaccine on Monday. She says about 70 persons received this vaccine, and so when I woke up this morning, I started making calls to persons who would have received the same. Quite a bit of persons said, I'm doing fine. Did you really give me something yesterday? Oh, you're boasting bad. Others complained of tenderness or pain at the injection site. Some said they felt cold last night. I think about 2 or 3 persons complained of experiencing chills. About 4 or 5 of them said they had a mild fever, but took 2 paracetamols and they were fine. Some complained of a little feeling of fatigue. Some said they just had body aches and pains. One particular person said, I'm experiencing a mild headache. And I think most or all of the persons who were vaccinated yesterday all went to work this morning. So that just gives you an overview of the post-vaccination symptoms being experienced by our own people who were vaccinated yesterday. As a previously reported database says, to capture any side effects from vaccinated people is being developed, and the expected time of observation is noted by Dr. Laws as the minimum of 3 months. So, this is sort of expected though, anyway.
Yeah, she's basically saying it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it happens. Like, you take a flu shot, you feel sick, you feel like you have the flu, and then you're good to go.
A mild symptom.
Yeah.
But when kids get vaccinated at the health center, it's kind of the same. They have a little fever, a little they're a bit uncomfortable, but it's, you're not gonna die.
How long between the 2 doses? Is 10 weeks?
There's different gaps for the different
for the one
vaccines. For the one we have, I think it is 10 weeks. I will check.
That's a long time back.
Are you gonna forget?
That's by one then.
I hope they call him.
That's what I do when I have to go to get certain shots. You ignore them things. I put them in my calendar, and my calendar reminds me on the day.
My calendar clearly leaves me astray on a regular basis. Happy birthday, Geneve.
The man wish Geneve happy birthday like 4 times this month already.
You need to delete that
Geneve
calendar.
happy Google by. It's only she.
Your calendar. Okay, well, so yeah, put this in your calendars or give yourself a reminder somehow.
And then her actual birthday ain't in the calendar.
It's not.
So 3 days ago, an article was posted saying that I think it's 10 months, but I think they're now 10 weeks. Y'all are just really this can't be jolly now.
Oh my God.
Kevon, they're not on screen. I took them off because they're in here acting up. Like, they're not even laughing after nothing sensible,
So me on screen? Who on screen?
You.
Just me?
Yes.
Flames on fire.
So,
take your time.
And I'm waiting for Azem because he looked like he can burst into laughter again.
That was a good
You
one.
good? You good? Okay. The article I'm looking at says that the interval can be between 8 to 12 weeks for the second dose. 8 to 12 weeks, and I'm guessing we probably went with the 10-week gap, the middle ground. But I'm also seeing research saying that I think Ireland is doing a 3-month gap between doses, and it seems to be doing better. But
I wonder how long, like, anybody figured out how long the immunity lasts now?
No.
Okay.
I don't think there's research on that yet.
Okay, well, I mean, this is
Well,
all
maybe
new.
not research, but maybe they don't have like the numbers yet. Because I'm
Yeah, the
pretty sure that
research.
they've been researching it. But
We are the guinea pigs.
Yeah, I mean, there's,
They're gonna know in 20 years.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying. We
that's
don't
not
know.
how. But that's not how most things went. Like when they had yellow fever and all these
No.
things, they had research one time.
Yeah, people just died.
Well, yeah.
That's not.
Well,
And
thankfully,
that's oh, man.
So most vaccines they go through like a 7 year, like 7 year, 8 year, like.
so well, thankfully nobody has died.
Yeah. Look, watch.
It's still early, Jade.
But
What's
you
wrong
know,
with
Monday.
you?
the goal is though what they're trying to achieve is they're trying to achieve as immunization as fast as possible, so we don't have to wait to see how long it lasts. Because if enough people are immunized,
At the same time.
you know,
The population
the population
less
will
susceptible
be
to-
good, and then at the same time the transmission will die down to the point where it basically is not being passed on to anybody.
Thank Lord. But yo, come on now. You, whoever created you, you're going hell. Like to the pits of hell. Like if you take this, the devil put you first. And he leaving you. Because what kind of disease is this? Y'all see the side effects of this disease?
Even
You're
that,
losing
even the-
smell and taste?
Jade.
I had a friend in
But
the
that-
States, right, who had COVID, and he got it around Thanksgiving.
What's time by?
He caught it
And
right.
it's still him?
He caught it
You
after
eating still, but you don't
Thanksgiving.
eat it.
Oh, okay.
He caught it after Thanksgiving, and he tell me his taste comes and goes.
Still?
No, but you have to understand, right?
There's
people who-
lingering effects for some people.
Yeah, there's people who literally experiencing effects months after they've.
Yeah.
you
Because
know.
he said all up to January, he said he was still not really tasting or smelling things, and then he's
There was
saying no, it's like it's in and out.
There was some reports earlier about like long-lasting effects for some patients of the corona. Like it's
Yeah, my friend.
and we still it's a new disease, so we still don't know what happens 10 years down the line.
And that is why I feel like they push to get this vaccine or these vaccines out, because like these are some
Jade, have you
real-
called the 311 to book your vaccine?
You mean our vaccines?
No, the one in Australia.
Oh no, well I was talking to our good doctor and seeing if he could come and give us, you know,
Why Jay just volunteering everybody?
live. on
Oh, you're
the-
serious about that?
Yeah,
I want my thing. If you want the vaccine, just go take it.
I know, but you know, why can't
Jade
I?
looking company.
Why? Yes, duh. Why can't I have my friend vaccinated with me? That makes me feel more comfortable. We can all hold hands.
Yeah, Chrissy could go.
Chrissy not on island.
Where Chrissy gone?
To NY. Yeah.
She ain't come out?
Somebody in the government messaged me yesterday and said, vaccine? I said, whenever you're ready.
You know somebody who was telling me that somebody
Me?
Yeah. People dropping these vaccines, like people
But,
just
a certain friend of the show, someone who's been here several times, messaged me yesterday like, "You ready for the vaccine?" So I was like, "Wait, what are you doing? You a vac dealer? Like, this more
Are you
like
speaking about a particular dynamic young lady?
yes."
yes.
Yeah.
And I was just
Will you?
like, "Wait, you pet, what are you doing? Like, you got a stash? Are you the plug? Like, me understand what's going on?"
Trying to make sure the people
She reaching out to her network.
Yeah, she wants to return
Make
to
sure she
normalcy.
circle. Yeah, make sure.
The
Influence who you can
Okay.
influence. If you and somebody got good rapport, you have a conversation.
No, she's pushing, good job.
That's what she's doing.
And let me tell you something too. Like, there's so much reasons why people are making the decisions they're making. I talked to someone yesterday who went and registered. They haven't gotten it yet, but they went and booked the appointment. And they were like, "Boss, like for me it was simple. My mother trying to kill her."
what better
Like,
reasoning?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
and that's all it boils down to. You know, to be completely honest, people just need to find their reason.
Yeah.
If we really have to be honest, people have to find their reason and to actually convince themselves of the reason. Because for some people, they might work out, listen, I have to take this because I need to protect my mother. She's not eligible because she's old. She might have existing
Yeah,
conditions, but so I need to do my part. Find your reason, and then
you're
you know.
compromised or something. So you just.
But this government here, and I think that's the biggest drawback of St Kitts managing COVID so well,
Yeah.
is that we never really experienced COVID.
Right.
Our biggest qualm was, Lord, I lose my work and I can't pay my bills.
And I
I
can't
will
go outside.
go
I can't go
out.
outside.
But you go to New York and people's biggest qualms, I lost both my parents.
we have a call on the line. Call, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Can I still drop something in on the traffic?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sure.
Okay. I don't know if you all realize it or everybody realize it too, but the problem with Bastille is everybody wants to drive up 4th Street.
Yeah.
You ever look at that little one there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's causing Church Street to be congested now because you're coming to town. The only way you could go up 4th Street is to go down Church Street.
Mm-hmm.
And you have back-to-back traffic every day now on Church Street. You can't even get out down to the bottom because people converging from the western side too. Coming across, everybody heading for 4th Street. You come up from the Bay Road, you're heading for 4th Street. And I think persons trying to run from the traffic lights down by the old Treasury building there, the National Museum.
Oh, okay.
So they swing up there and they want to get out on 4th Street. But see what's happening now? They put more traffic lights now right by the roundabout when you pass the National Museum. So everybody got a bottleneck through there and come up 4th Street. What I think they should do is, when you reach across by, let's say, Kassab, you only could go down. Because you go across, you're compounding the problem. If you look at 4th Street every day, from morning right down until night, 4th Street for the cars, just going up, heading up. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Where 4th Street is the... People say the circus is the center of the town, but it's actually 4th Street.
The city center, yeah.
Yeah,
The whole stretch.
Yeah, so it's inevitable.
Inevitable, yeah.
Yeah, you'll always have congestion there. Well, you'll always have the most foot and vehicle traffic there. Right? But you were saying something before.
Who, me?
Yeah.
We were just talking about people finding a reason.
Yeah. We got such hard for reasons in St Kitts.
No, wait, tell me I look perturbed.
We got to look hard for reasons in St Kitts. In other countries, they don't have to look hard.
Yeah, and that is the flip side of, like you said, being managing the thing. And that's what I'm saying. We haven't really felt COVID in the same way a lot of other people have felt it. Like, you have to understand, right? There are places in the Caribbean that are reporting hundreds of new cases daily.
And deaths.
And we've over the entire course of this thing, we had 40, what it is? Like 40 something? We're on the 50
cases?
Yeah.
We were 42 and I think 2 are active still.
So we're on the 50 for the entirety of the pandemic.
A year.
Right. So these are the things that are going to, because even some people who are not anti-vaccine,
41 to active.
Right. So what happens is a lot of people are going like, okay, the vaccine, yeah, cool, okay, yeah, but why you gotta take it now?
And I said, I want to hear.
Yeah.
Not
that's
even
the argument,
that,
that's the argument.
Not even that, not even just that, but okay, I'm not traveling. Like, y'all telling me you don't know how long the immunity lasts.
Being a frontline worker.
If I do travel, I still have to quarantine. Like, so in other words, a lot of people, because the vaccine isn't some like magic cloak that cloaks you from the virus, it's like.
We saw this happening throughout the entire pandemic. People saying, "Oh, COVID this, COVID that. I ain't doing this. I ain't wearing a mask." And then on their deathbed, they tweet, they put it on Facebook. Man, I should have listened. And then a few days later, they died. Let's not be on deathbed saying I should have taken the vaccine. Let's really not do that, because Springfield done full.
This is not. There's this phenomena where people have this feeling of like they're not included. So it's like that ain't happened to me. You know that feeling, like
invincibility.
Yeah, not only invincibility, but like most likely ain't happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see it for yourself.
Because people are given odds. People are given like the odds on something. It's a 1 to 1 million situation, but you realize that the one still exists, and that one.
And
could
even
be
if
you.
you're thinking it's not going to happen to you, you have to think about the people around you. It's not about you alone. This is not if I catch it, it's just going to stay with me. Because if I catch it, I could spread it to my entire family.
Because let's say you somehow catch it from somebody that didn't know they had it, and then you go home to your sick parents or
your
older
poor
parents,
granny.
or a teenager home with asthma, something, and then you pass it to them. You want to live with the fact that you sort of just
that you want to
tank
have
your
down your
household.
conscience.
All of this is correct. All of this is correct.
Let me
the
read
problem
some.
is that we're in a situation now where people don't see themselves getting corona.
Okay, well, think about other people. Don't.
No.
That ain't gonna happen. You
They
can't
don't
ask them to
like.
think.
Okay, in other words, then the borders are closed. The virus has been contained.
Yeah, so there's no need for us to
Yeah,
take it.
so that's
basically,
what
it would have been better if they would have just.
No, it would not be better. But what I'm saying is that everything.
Vaccination would have been easier if we had cases and deaths, yes. That's what you're asking.
That's unfortunate.
It would have been easier.
That's what I mean.
Because right now, everybody's thing is, why should they take the vaccine if we don't have corona? You know,
Why should
unfortunately,
the
the country.
when having the cases.
We
Why
live
should
in
I
a-
social
I think
distance?
I think recognizing and my response to that is generally we have managed the situation because of the steps that we have taken. If you're one of the people who believe that we should just continue like this for the rest of time, then no problem.
Yeah.
If you believe that you want to see us return to some sense of normalcy, then these protocols will then have to
change,
relax.
yeah.
And the only way we could relax is if we're
we
ready
do
for
this
it.
and
We're
we
ready
get
for it. We have to prepare for
right.
it. So that is the mindset.
Because the same
What
people
I-
saying that, no COVID here, may taking a vaccine, the same people who saying, the country need to open up and open the borders, where we doing this quarantine thing. Like, make up your mind. Which one you want? Like,
Yeah, you can't have both.
We can't have-
You can't have normalcy come back and not.
because normalcy comes with opening the country, and opening the country comes with COVID. So pick one.
I may try to die because you being stupid or ignorant.
What I
and talking
foresee,
about-
what I foresee is a minor step back before we go forward in terms of normalcy.
Yeah, in these situations.
Yeah,
that's
Because
generally
what's
how
going to
it
happen is government is going to have to restrict certain activities until we reach herd immunity. We have the vaccine, so we're going to take it. If I want to move forward.
And that's
No more parties.
So no carnival, no vaccine, no
Shut
carnival.
down this trip, everything.
I just about to say that's why Gaston does be
That's what
talking to
happened.
the country like
But
this.
but it has to happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Otherwise, if people feel like nothing is wrong, then they will never take the vaccine.
Gaston talking to them hard. Tim, use the Gaston approach.
Let me read
Talk
some of
to them
these
hard.
comments. Somebody saying on the live, they read an article on NBC that some cruise ships are now requiring passengers to show that they have been vaccinated to book a cruise. There's also talks that airlines
That's
may
what's
be
going to be.
requiring the same option soon, which is what's happening. Someone is saying now you'll have to get a booster shot according to the news this morning. And yeah, they're saying that, booster shots are probably going to happen too. A concern that somebody's saying is, if all of the vaccines that St Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean are getting are free, why would our Prime Minister Dr. Harris said in November that he had paid $800,000 for the vaccines when
What?
from all regional and international reports the vaccine is free to developing countries? That's false.
That's false. The
So
COVAX,
how
the
it-
COVAX facility,
the-
you have to pay to be a part of the COVAX.
The COVAX facility, you had to pay to be a part of it. Other places are donating some, but the country still has to pay for basically
we
the
had
bulk
like,
of vaccines.
Taiwan who
Taiwan donated.
They donated a bunch of money
to
towards
afford the
procuring,
vaccines.
to procuring more vaccines and stuff like that.
So the vaccines aren't free. They're free for the receivers. We are receiving them for free in terms of
Government subsidized.
Yeah.
Is Taiwan in debt?
The whole world in that, Amali.
To who I don't know.
Really?
To China?
The whole world.
China in debt.
How the whole world in debt? Who we owe Mars? Like
Each other?
How we in debt? Like
We owe each other.
the world in
Boy,
debt.
they got some countries that just states giving money to people. They're like, I ain't gonna be able to play me in this.
Yeah, so somebody is saying that is why it's inflicting hardship. Senior citizens have to walk, feet. Yeah. Okay, up to date. So let's now take a very short break and we'll come into tea time. Not tea time. I read tea time on the screen. Eat local.
Easier said, brother. Easier
Eat
said.
local. No, because I thought Jade was going to whisper espresso in my ear. Yeah, we'll be right back. And Jade. No.
Power up in February at Horsford's Value Mart IGA. Yes! In February, we are giving you 3 ways to power up. 1. Power up for your Value Club points in February. Yes, for the first time ever, every Value Club customer will earn double points on all Value Club purchases at Volume Mart in St Kitts and Nevis. 2. Power up in our Power Play, where lucky customers will win their purchase free. Just listen out for the Power Play alert, and if you are at the Mystery Power Register of the day, you win your purchase absolutely free with double points and more. 3. Power up your saving with the Hosford's Value Mart Red Tag Value Deal. Yes, power up with the savings with huge discount on select Value Deals items. Power up your points. Power up your saving. Win your purchase free in our Power Play. Power up February at Hosford's Value Mart IGA. Don't miss it. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Marijuana, policemen in the streets searching for Cali weed. But if you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane field. If you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane field.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Amali, and we are jumping into Eat Local with Jabari. Welcome.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
So for our so for our listeners and viewers, we love to start off with you telling us a little bit about who you are and what it is you do.
So
don't get shy. Don't do shy. We don't do shy.
Professionally, hobby-wise,
whatever you want.
Tell your story.
Tell your story.
Okay, Jabari Trotman.
This is your short biography here. A true Hollywood story.
Right, Jabari Trotman, Bird Rock resident, Kittian national, avid podcast listener and podcaster. Love sports, music, and pop culture.
You like pop culture?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Indeed. Yeah.
So you mentioned avid podcast and listener.
Yeah.
So what got you into podcasting?
Listening a lot of sports talk radio and watching a lot of television, ESPN especially. So I think it started off where we had this fake Facebook talk show kind of thing that we emulated, PTI, which is patent interruption, with Mike Wilburn and Tony Kornheiser. So we used to have this on Facebook like 2008, 2009. And then we was like, yo, let's just do a podcast. So we bought a couple of materials, read for a while, and started. Just like that.
And that was locally?
Both of us were overseas at the time. I was in New Jersey at the time. I think Xavier was in Florida, and then we just made it happen. I think we only were in the same place doing it maybe once or twice. So it's always been a kind of overseas connection, so to speak.
Right.
Oh, so yeah, we're doing virtual even before virtual was a thing.
Yeah, we were doing Zoom for years. We were making a joke about that the other day, that we should have like bought stock in Zoom.
Right.
Because we were doing it like 4 or 5 years ago. We had the Zoom recorder doing it old school ghetto style before they had a lot of tools and applications which are more available right now. So we were doing it differently back then, but we kind of upgrade since. So it's a different dispensation at the moment.
So have you ever thought of getting back into it, or you have any plans for that?
Yeah, so we recently relaunched like 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. So new equipment, new studio, same as type of content, different jokes, and we have an episode dropping every Monday. Every Monday.
And what is the content?
So
what's the nature of the show?
So we mostly sports, some pop culture, and then various issues that we just find important. So on a typical day, we might talk about Bobby Schmurder. We might talk about something going on with the NBA, the NFL, Champions League, EPL. We might talk about Black History Month, because we do a Black History Month segment every week for the month of February. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So, what else are you into, sir?
What else am I into? That sounds like a leading question.
I
don't understand that question.
What are your other interests?
Other than podcasting?
Extracurricular.
Sports. So I deal with basketball a lot. I remember Bird Uprisers.
You see, now we're getting into things.
Yeah. Don't play anymore, but more administrative coach level. So that's what I do. A lot
the Bird Uprisers?
Yeah. Yeah, so actually they have a game tonight, the juniors.
The juniors are really good, actually.
Yeah, they're defending champions, and they have a game really tonight. Game 2 of the finals.
But quickly, just look, this is one thing I always find so interesting, like the lack of buzz around the basketball league.
Yeah.
Like people ain't know right now, like the finals going on here.
I agree with that. It is interesting to use a word. I think
everybody loves NBA. I mean, I understand.
I think part of it is perhaps lack of understanding of marketing by the powers to be. I think that's part of it. And as a structure, the St Kitts basketball has gone over a lot of overhaul in the past few years in terms of administratively.
Okay.
So from a continuity standpoint, not always the best situation for marketing. And I think also there was a drop in the youth aspect of it, meaning say 16 and under.
Right.
So that directly affected the product from the youth league and the senior leagues, because there was like a lull in that developmental aspect, that grassroots aspect, and that also affected like the on-court quality of play, and that it led to fans
the quality of the product itself is
I think it's coming back a lot better now than it was in recent years.
Yeah, I used to go Scarborough, watch the games and thing, and it just
Sunday night, it used to be people used to leave like one a pack to go to Scarborough watch games.
It used to be jiggy, man. Bally them was in the prime, and so but like you said, it just kind of drop off. I do think though, however, I think basketball in St. Kitts needs a home. I think it needs a proper home.
I agree. Yeah, so that's another aspect. Like the outside thing, it don't always work out, especially when there's monies involved, and then a game, the rain come and then we got to come back and play.
Sometimes me just call up there.
Yeah, so they got other like environmental factors as well. But I think mostly is an administrative standpoint. But I said they're doing different things. Like the games will be live streamed on Facebook now. So they're doing like little tidbits, but in terms of holistic marketing product, I would agree there are areas and gaps to be filled. Yeah.
But in terms of the play, you've seen in recent years the increase in the play, or do we have some even if we have some standout talent?
I think that in terms of the junior play, I think it's better than it was even 5 years ago.
Cool.
So it's improving again. I think that, let's say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the quality had dropped really low. But since then, I think that different stakeholders within the basketball fraternity has put in a lot of development and competitions, like there's the Roto League that happens, and there's different high school basketball league, which was dead for a lot of years. Yeah. Since I played in that in 2006, and I don't think there was another league for like maybe a decade or so.
Wow.
High school basketball league.
Feeder program.
Yeah. So that led to a lot of drop off. Whereas there's a lot for football and amongst other sports, cricket even so. So that led to a drop-off in the product, but in terms of juniors, I think it's coming back. So it's on the up. And the games have been really exciting. I enjoy them. I watch a lot, so they've been good.
Yeah, the games are gonna be good. That's why people need to go out and watch the games.
Yeah, I agree. So tonight, 7 p.m. Basketball City. I'll watch it online on Facebook on this SKNABA page. So shout out to them.
Maybe they should hire you to do some marketing. Clearly you don't have to job with them.
Maybe. That's a strong maybe. I don't know if I'm willing to take on that responsibility at this time, but I think they're trending in the right direction. Let me say this, because like live stream that wasn't even available. Never used to post the stats or any highlights before, consistently. I'm speaking. So now,
to be honest, a lot of people really only used to follow the basketball because of people like Molly. And Molly is supposed to do highlights. Like a lot of people, that's what they used to just like, oh, this is going on up Scarborough.
Yeah, so as we know, social media is important. I don't think it was being utilized as a tool correctly. And maybe it's still 100% not there yet, but I think it's trending in the right direction. So we're looking forward to greater things when the senior league starts on the 7th of March, that is. So hopefully they continue rolling.
You're looking for any new players? Because I feel like we recruit some of the island team. Like I feel like Amali won't go play on the team. Yeah.
He ain't even nod like. He ain't even nod convincingly.
I just want to hush.
Oh. But that's okay. We're gonna get him on a team.
Yeah. But I tried the basketball once with some friends in high school, and
in high school
it was a terrible experience.
They push it down?
Huh?
They push it down?
Why was it so bad? I don't know.
That way they always try to push
That's
it down.
part of sports.
You.
Yeah, but then, man, but you see, what happened is I was dabbling in it when they've been playing for years.
Oh, so they didn't even warm you up? They just
trample you? But that's how we go, though.
Everybody walk on the court like, hey, good afternoon, thing.
And then trample you.
And I think it's a friendly thing. I was like, oh, this is going to be great, and thing.
That's friendly.
And I man just dunk me, bam! He said, get up!
Okay, that don't sound like a basketball game you were playing. Like that sound different. Like that. That's why you stand over you and say, get up.
Yeah, they were aggressive on the court.
Those were your friends?
Yes, behind the auditorium. Yeah.
Oh, BHS auditorium. Oh yeah, I used to play there once.
You too.
That's all I can watch it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did. But we used to go there on Thursdays. And one bar.
When you say I did like that's something like.
Oh, the anti-washi here.
Oh, the anti-washi. I didn't know that, but that's okay.
We just put past the high school.
They don't throw stones at the bottom.
We don't throw stones at the bottom.
No, they don't do that.
They don't just what?
Throw stones at the bottom, only at the top. Yeah, so.
But we don't want to throw them this far.
What, the stones?
Yeah, this far.
Spoken like a true lesser one, man. I'm going to term there.
Lesser one?
Hey, that was a term.
Yeah.
That was a term.
Lesser one. But he's a lesser one.
That's not washy though, please.
That's not washy?
No, please. Don't even go there.
Wow.
Defensive.
Not defensive at all. Are you offensive?
Well.
Yeah.
We're talking basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to supplement.
Tell us a little bit more about this podcast, because I feel like a lot of people, Kittian especially, not into podcasts. listening or watching, because you know some of these you could actually go and look at the videos from them. How do you think we could get more people into this? Because I feel like podcasts are some of the most educational and entertaining things you could watch or listen to.
They're filling.
But
talk about stuff that people like to hear. Right. I think that's the only thing you could really do. Like people like different things, so just talk about stuff that people like to hear or that you like to talk about, that you're interested in, because there's a niche for every market. And I believe people do listen podcasts like a lot more.
But that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Jabari. Like, as a matter of fact, I think that what you're speaking to is how we get more people podcasting.
Yeah.
Like Jade was asking how we get people into like consuming the medium. But I've seen like just within the last 2 weeks, like 2 more shows like pop up. Like 2 or 3 more like talk type shows.
Yeah.
Pop up, right? So I feel like there's a lot of that happening.
And we got a lot of radio shows already, so I think what happens or doesn't happen is that a lot of the radio shows that already exist don't go on media to be broadcast in podcast format. But there's a lot of talk shows that happen on all the radio stations across the federation. So
a lot of it.
Yeah, so if that was even done, I don't know how simple that is or how difficult that is, but if that was recorded and put in different mediums and different applications for people to view, I think that would be a big step. And then, you know, people would also do their spin-offs, because if there is a lot of local like music around, I think there's even more like local content, video content. We got like social media influencers right here. So we got a lot of different things, but in terms of the podcast, it's kind of like a niche thing. You have to have like a area of focus that I wouldn't say necessarily expert on, but you definitely have to be interested in it and somewhat knowledgeable about, but you will increase in knowledge over time as you start it. But,
that's one of my biggest gripes with like, especially like the local like type stuff. Like a lot, for some reason, I feel like we choose to talk about things that we're not too familiar with. Like,
you think so? Okay.
No, I'm
That's
telling you.
interesting.
Like,
That's
bro,
interesting.
I literally watched like this one of the new shows. I won't call the name, and they were discussing certain topics, and it was painful to watch because it's like you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yikes.
We talking about podcast, talking about radio show.
It was shot in podcast format.
Okay.
In podcast format. Like,
I got you.
Like a show.
So you think they just didn't know what they're talking about, or they weren't able to like communicate effectively and get over their point in
No,
a
they
way
didn't know
that
what they're
listeners.
talking about. And no, but they were
that's
admitting
a hard
it.
one.
No, but they were admitting it. They were admitting it.
So somebody put them up to this? Because I don't understand.
They created one of the topics that they spoke about. Was something
XYZ, yeah.
Right. And then as they're talking to it, they kept saying,
we ain't know much about this.
We really know much about this.
So why talk about it? I don't get it.
And that's the thing. Like, I think you have to curate your experience.
Yeah.
You have to curate your experience.
And sometimes you got to bring in people who know what they're talking about to help you out. So like,
just talk about what you're passionate about.
Oh, what you know about. Yeah, I understand.
Because the passion is what can draw people in it.
Well,
so you see, you're into sports.
Yeah.
You talk about sports.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be like an expert in sports, but you have a passion for it and you're familiar with it. So you speak from your standpoint.
Yeah, and it's something that I guess we live and are involved in. Like outside of the part, we're always reading stuff, we're always discussing stuff. So I guess it comes naturally in a way, because the whole idea of off the bench is something that we do, gathering on Bird Rock Court in a random bar, in a random parking lot, in a random spot, and we have that like community feel, and that I would say fact checking and, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, but this is my view and this is your view, and we come together and we maybe reach a consensus or we don't, but it's something we do over and over for a variety of topics all the time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if we have that kind of, I would say, environment, we just talk about it, but we mostly talk about sports, amongst other things.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's all. So I think it's easier to do, but I guess it takes a bit of practice, and then it depends on
like everything else.
Who the hosts be, how they relate to one another. Are they
Chemistry
comfortable? Chemistry is important. And I guess doing your Googles and your research
Yeah, I just about to say,
beforehand.
research, especially you have to, if you know you have a plan to talk about something,
Yeah. Do
some
you can't
research.
just wing it, especially if it's something that you definitely know that you're not, somebody that's familiar with it. You have to just do your research. As you said, Google is free and
Yeah.
available to everybody.
So, see, even that I don't necessarily agree with, but
That Google is free?
no, but that you have to you have to
That's funny, that was funny,
you have to understand. That you have to understand but my thing is you speak from where you're at.
Yeah.
Like we don't talk about a lot of things in here we don't know about.
I'm sure.
But we try not to give the impression that we're the professionals, and then we also try not to give the impression that we know what we're talking about. Are we professionals?
And there's a difference between having like a deep dive conversation, cousin.
Right.
Like long form
Exactly.
podcasting, like you can't just talk about it. Like I would never do an episode that's mostly consisted of like Formula One content. You know what I mean? Or like
Precisely.
NASCAR or something
Precisely.
like that.
Precisely.
I don't know much about because or swimming.
But
So
nothing
'cause-
wrong with saying, bye. I don't understand. I don't. No, but nothing wrong with saying like, y'all ever realize how excited people get when the cars crash in NASCAR? Like, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an expert to recognize that that's what's happening. You
Also
understand?
to recognize that people
Right.
when people fight in hockey and that
Right. Exactly. So these are things you could mention and things come up, but
And you could also bring in guests to help you, like fill your gaps. So
Precisely.
we've had guests on the show before to help us, like when they're more focused in a different area than we
Mhm.
are, and they like live and breathe it. You bring them in and integrate it. So we have a conversation about that.
Definitely.
So that's important as well. But you gotta know yourself too.
yeah. You have
And
to be
then-
very self-aware if you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, why? I don't know why you would program something in that you're not comfortable talking about, and then you put it, on, and then you tape it. That's weird to me. And then put it out. I think I'll be uncomfortable doing that, personally.
They look very uncomfortable.
Shots fired.
Well, no, actually.
No.
I'm just
I think
saying,
no.
No.
My thing is this: like, I believe that, just like with almost everything else, these things are skills, and as you do it, you become better.
True.
Right? But you have to be self-aware about where you're at in order to improve.
Yeah.
So hopefully that is the case, and it's something that could grow. Like.
Yeah, most of the time you start off something as you were alluding to earlier, right? You suck. So,
Yeah, exactly.
like-
You start out that way.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like if we go back to watch the earlier episodes of Oil and Tea, people would be like, what?
Yeah, don't go back and watch the old episodes, please.
And I think everybody feel that about most things that they could, go back and look at that
Live
they've
your
done
life.
before. They feel that way. So
Live your
there's
life.
nothing wrong with that. Because
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
our first episode off the bench was horrible. I think so.
And
Yeah.
yes, and that's expected.
And the
right?
second was much better. So and then I think we've been getting better as time goes along. So
Right.
and I hear that
And
echoed
that's
all the
natural.
time.
That's natural.
Yeah, that's
In
what I want
everything,
to see.
across
That's
the
what I
board.
want
Right. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So you said it was a new pod, so.
Yeah, I think it was like, I don't want to say the number because then it's easy to guess what we're talking about. But it was
Newer.
one of the early. It was one of the early episodes.
Right. So that's
They
cool.
knew, They knew.
That's cool. Constructive criticism is important.
Yeah, like I think I can get better.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
We're backing them, whoever
Yeah,
they
man,
are.
definitely.
We're backing you.
Unless
we're
they're
backing you.
washy.
Unless they're washy.
That is correct.
Jabari don't even
I had to process
engage.
that for a second.
Don't even
You see,
Why not?
You see how long I take to process a simple sentence?
Yeah, I
Because it
don't.
don't make sense to us.
Natural.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah,
make-
nothing does.
That was a
That's the
different
point.
language. Okay. Name something that BHS is better at wash yet. Name something.
Something?
Yeah, one thing.
Everything?
No, one thing. One thing. is not
Everything.
you see,
You said
you do English.
the word
right,
better
at,
as
at
in
BHS. Yeah.
You said it was better as in
And I also said one thing.
Everything.
Everything is not one thing.
You can
If I-
tell that
no,
somebody
but-
didn't go to English class.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
didn't
saying
attend
y'all had English class at BHS, right? Yeah. So tell me
all
one
the schools
thing.
have English class.
Singular.
Men attacking the system and attacking the reception.
He's asking you one
Of
simple
the people in
question
the
that you
institution.
cannot answer, which is the issue.
So you.
I already answered
Wait,
it.
no,
You
you're
answered
trying
the
to.
question. You just don't like the answer.
He doesn't like the answer. I answered the question.
No, you didn't
I
answer
said
the-
everything, so you can pick whichever one you want.
Okay, sure.
One
answer
of
the
my
question.
friends just
You
shouted
didn't-
in caps everything.
That's
So I
like
don't
s-
think they understand the question either.
That's
Yeah,
like
okay.
that's like somebody. That's like somebody
I like the
asking.
rivalry though.
That's like somebody asking for a mint, and they say, would you like a mint? They offered you one, but they passed the whole bowl, so you can take one, whichever one you want.
Whichever one you want.
Okay. I don't think those two things I like at all, but.
And I
'Cause I
understand
can't pick
and I
one
understand
thing
why
over
you would
everything.
think that another like.
That's cool. It's 3 against 1 though. But Kevon though joining on the band.
what I-
She is only there talking. You see there?
He went
They're
be
playing
a
victim as him.
Somebody have to be
Only there he talking there. He says
Somebody have to be that
1.
grounding wire.
Oh, okay.
Valentine's coming
So you
from.
don't join in on the.
Well,
okay.
somebody's
Sometimes.
literally shouting things at me. I refuse to call their name. I refuse. They're not going to get it today.
They ain't get to there.
No. But I love her dearly.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Wow.
Everything.
So this thing.
Protect your
just
peace,
watch
friend.
the thing
Protect your
go
peace.
deep. Yeah.
That's what she said. But
Wow.
anyway,
No, Jabari, that was not on ear.
as if filthy, you know?
I don't know what you mean by that.
By what?
Jabari knows
That-
me as a very upstanding young man in the community. I
Yes.
don't know what you're trying to.
Faithful black man of excellence, you know.
Indeed.
One can be excellent in filthy. Or
Can you be?
excellent at filth.
A pillar in his community. That guy over there. Yeah.
Lots of pillars are falling because of their behind the scenes filth.
Okay. What are you talking about, Azem? I don't know.
I have no idea, sir.
Big up Bill Cosby one time. Anyway,
Wow.
let's come to the end of the show.
Let's
Oh, let's go
whoa.
home.
Time out.
I was just giving an example of a pillar that fell
Time out. Let's
because of filth. I'm not saying Azim is guilty of the same
Wow.
crimes. He's not. He's a good guy.
Wow. That's wow. I don't even know what to say now.
So one
butcher
person
up.
is saying why she was good for the best gangs, but let's continue.
Actually, right? In my time, it was actually the opposite. So I don't know.
Your time was my time, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
lie.
yeah.
It was her time as well, so she's
Your
very
time was
wrong.
my time, and you lie.
Kick off,
No,
like.
no.
Kick off. How do I
You
kick
see,
off
it's
the
true.
I
line?
don't want to get into the
let's
specifics and
continue, you know.
implicate
Man,
many times of peace and different things like that.
Bastille
So let's don't
was never referred to as Vietnam, you know,
Yes,
ever. You know.
it wasn't referred to as Vietnam in my time either. So I don't know about that. I only heard about that. You know, in
I
times
said it was
past.
never referred to. You see, you're not listening.
It was referred to a lot of other things, but let's not go down that road. We're in times of peace right now. Let's
But
not
that's what the
up
piece
here
is
in the
on.
conference.
The piece is on, so we'll shake on it.
Yeah. Did they ever shake in real life? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
But somebody will hug though. Anyway, this show is finished. And she shed tears and apologized.
That happened for real?
Yeah.
Like all jokes aside.
Yeah. Anyway,
People cry?
We could talk about it. Yeah, we could talk about it after, off air. We have to leave. Because the sheriff they got something to do over in Nevis and we have to respect the sheriff. So
Who's the sheriff? Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah.
So we've come to the end of the show.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Tomorrow is Friday. Friday, hooray. The weekend. So folks, we want to urge you to continue to drive safely.
I'm
And
just thinking about fried fish.
oh, some soup. Continue to try and drive safely and use our roundabouts correctly. Indicate it when exiting the roundabout. Please stay in your lane, figuratively and literally.
Literally, yes.
Please let's not overtake in the roundabout. And also, let us remember to park our vehicles in a way that will allow our friends at SWMC to collect our trash in an effective and timely manner. So when you're getting good people peace and so,
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, we're talking about trash here.
I never know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
When you park a vehicle, when you get home, make sure you park it in a way that don't block the truck.
Yeah, in the garage.
Oh, okay.
In the garage.
That works.
Yeah, that works as well, yeah.
Yes,
And of course, let's continue to lobby heavily to our lawmakers, policy designers, the powers that be, to take a look at our existing laws and our constitution and our policies and our amendments and those sorts of things.
All the books.
All the books.
And bills.
I heard it's 3 people that do that. Like it's a
Three people?
3-person staff, yeah. That's what I read this morning on the Worldwide Knowledge of Facebook, so I don't know if that's true.
To update them and review them so that they are a better reflection of modern day society here in St Kitts and Nevis, as opposed to the laws that were written in
39.
1939. That's just about 2 or 3 years before Azem was born. That have become outdated and you know they're out of touch.
Yeah.
So let us try and improve our laws so that we can live more freely, more peacefully, and more happily. And lastly, I would like to turn it
Wait,
over
before
to
we do, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. And if
yes, you did.
Pardon the interruption.
But I have to do something for Inoite because he begged me to do it, and I know we don't usually don't usually do nice things for Inoite. But he wants us to remind people. So watch his show tonight. You know, only good news. Tune in at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. on WINN FM. But now you can continue, Amali. Sorry.
Listen to mine too.
And especially
and Jabari.
Offthebenchradio.com.
and especially as it relates to sexual offences and sexual conduct of our minors. Justice for Jack One.
Justice for Jack One.
No,
Don't ask.
We'll turn it over to. You could say he don't listen to the show.
Yeah, I listen sometimes.
But how about
sometimes?
And now we'll turn it over to a master of ceremonies, the Honourable His Excellency Sir Kevon Emmanuel Obadiah Hanley, to give our
Prosecco Papi,
aka Prosecco Papi,
indeed,
aka the next name still pending.
Still under
Hashtag still pending.
No, it's under copyright.
aka the Puppy Whisperer.
Hey, aka Fet Van.
aka Fet Van. With his closing remarks.
I like Prosecco Papi.
It's sexy, eh?
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, just like me. But, you know, remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not